Let us start now. A warm welcome to our Bookmasters, Hualien Dharma team and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. A very good morning. Let us start the session for today. Today, I would like to share a short excerpt from Master Ching, entering into others' life and safeguarding them. Why did you choose to study medicine or nursing? I believe there is a common intention to take care of patients and safeguard lives, walking at the front line with your life, entering into others' life and safeguarding them. This world cannot do without medical professionals. This requires the unity and concerted efforts of many people, gathering energy and contributing with love. Okay, this is accepted by Sister Su Ching from Singapore. Okay, now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Sahara land be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas hear my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in the world. Let us pray together for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Now let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our Bookmasters to lead us in paying homage to the Triple Gems. Let us pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Ching Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abode Masters who could join us today. Okay, today we have three sharers. Sister Alicia will be sharing on the sending loves to Lumbini and Brother Sean. So Brother Sean will let us know the topic later. Then followed by Brother Bernard, who will be sharing on the glow of the gallery. Okay, before that, we'll invite Sister Su Ching for the weekly summary. Sister Su Ching, over to you, Karen.
Sister Lily. Now my PowerPoint. Okay. So last week we had three sharers. Sister Yuru. In Master's dialogue, an inspiration found its way. Master said, small steps pave paths, inch by inch, day by day. Sister Yuru sets her sights to Bodh for a month-long stay. Can lives change here when there doesn't seem to be a way? Sister Yuru saw children in the streets with their joy profound. Despite the deep poverty, happiness abounds. Schools with simple signs and bare classrooms she graced, and saw students' determination in each small place. Volunteers trudge, whether rain or shine, through mud and fields, dedication is enshrined. Education does not just lie in books, hygiene is taught too. With Tuti, there is completeness in lessons, and the syllabus just grew. The students cherish the opportunity to learn and study, especially the lessons on heart and humanity. Encouraged by the reception, the volunteers vow to stand, putting their best efforts in purifying Buddha's land. Chalo is the expression to keep moving. It's clear. Students are touched as they experience with eyes sincere. Life's difficulties are shared by all. Tuti is transforming struggles to standing tall. Then we had Sister Lynette from the Philippines. Sister Lynette is an advocate for Mother Nature's plea. Last Saturday, she reviewed a decade past Typhoon Haiyan's legacy. 300,000 man-days in 19 days was the total cleanup chore. Tuti gathered cash aid and supplies for 60,000 families, dignity restored. Tuti even took on repairs to schools and churches, not counting what's yours or mine. Such is the power of great love when hearts are aligned. Blue and white uniforms are what locals most recall, the dedication and care amidst devastation, infecting goodness to all. In order to remember this hope descending in such bright rays, 90,000 letters were sent in by villagers with heartfelt displays. Renovated houses and buildings were all part of Tuti's care. 10 years on, villagers still cherish the blankets and angpaos, keeping the memories rare. The Great Love Village is a legacy from Tuti, and it echoes grand, as are the 30 Tuti scholars in Leyte inspired to serve holding hand in hand. Then our last speaker was Sister Woon Ki. Sister Woon Ki is a teacher retired, found herself at Tuti's gates with her passion all fired. At first hesitant to join Bodha's realm, till she summoned her determination and courage did helm. The humanistic spirit is love to impart. For locals, children, compassion was a start. Lessons in English and Chinese and English, the volunteers did impart. The Jingsi aphorism words woven into many hearts. Hygiene, appearance were among the teachings grand. The team made plans and training simple for students to understand. Dramas and songs make learning simple and bright. Fun activities make learning profound yet light. Challenges faced included from congested rooms to varied levels where life's teaching blooms. Volunteers experienced love and care through shared meals. Many Zoom meetings were the source of connecting wheels. Tuti's bamboo banks bridged hearts to Tuti. The villagers' response was that of enthusiasm wholeheartedly. Many collaborations with universities and Malaysians will continue this continuous team relay. With each team, there are plans to modernize teachings of Buddhism's way. Thank you for listening. Okay, I shall stop share and hand over to Brother Chin to introduce the next speaker. Thank you so much.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. As mentioned earlier, we have three sharers with us this morning. The first of which is Sister Alicia. Sister Alicia, one of the most dedicated volunteers who's active in education, sign language, and also helping to run the IT setup communication too. Now, obviously, her talk is about sending love to Lumbini. Sometimes when we walk the spiritual path, we have to face our own becomings. And because we face our own becomings, enable us to dive deep to the deeper meaning of what we have learned in the Dharma. And I'm sure Sister Alicia, through the challenges and the becomings we face in life, knows very well what the Dharma means when we travel on this Bodhisattva path. So let's hear from her insights to walk this path and sharing love into Lumbini. Welcome, Sister Alicia. Here you go. And don't forget that will you be staying throughout the session?
Not sure.
I just want to wish you belated happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you. Right, thank you. Right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the great introduction. It's yeah, it is really very very thank you. It's a very great journey. I mean, okay, I would say that it's a very good opportunity for me to be able to step feet and be a part of this team that goes to Lumbini. The minute I step into Lumbini, it's like, wow, okay, what to expect? I don't even know what to expect. So probably like slums areas, you know, because it's like third world country, you don't know what to expect. But when you go in there, you're warmly welcome. Of course, you know, Tzu Chi uniform, everybody knows, right? You say, oh, they're coming from Tzu Chi. And then when you actually get there, so they look at Tzu Chi uniform, they recognize you immediately. You know, that's how Tzu Chi has managed, how deeply Tzu Chi has actually managed, touched the heart of everyone in Lumbini who knows Tzu Chi, because what we have done is really a lot. We go into the masses, like what Master says, we have to go and reach out to them, right? This is very important, not just merely sending food, you know, sending money to them, you know, but what's more important to them? You need to touch their heart. So they are, you compare to Malaysia, they are so, I mean, compared to any country that's advanced, we should say advanced. Malaysia is not like very advanced, but it's still so much better than Lumbini, these third world countries, of course, right? So when you go in there, it's like, oh, so plain, so simple, you know, it makes you think back like, oh, you know, all this while you've been working so hard, and then look at their life. They're just standing there looking at you, enjoying the day, enjoying every single time that's available. But one thing, because they are so, the place where we are, right, Lumbini, it's so slow. So they can just stand, do nothing, and not move on. So to me, that's like really sad, because there's so much to do in life. There's so much to do. And look at how they live, you know. We are living in brick houses. Yeah, they do have some brick houses as well, but That's just all it is made of, bricks, and they have nothing in their life. It's so simple. You think back, Master keeps saying, live a simple life, live a simple life. What is simple life? So when you go there, you can see simple. Their life are really so simple that they don't have anything to chase upon on, So when we go in there, then you reflect back on yourself. Okay, I have this. And what's next? Still not enough? These are the questions that comes, and then, or, I have a healthy life now. Thank God. I'm so blessed, because then otherwise I can't even step foot in Lumbini. Don't not to say anywhere out of Malaysia or anywhere, but I still have good health. Everyone here is blessed with good health to be able to serve, So we should seize all opportunities. Okay, and then that's about the life that we see there. And then when I go there, next thing is that to say, okay, after looking at their lives and how they are, when you go, then you realize that, no wonder Master want to bring education. Master want to help Lumbini. It's not just because it's the birthplace of Buddha, but they all need to change to have improvement in life. Not to say that it's not good that they live a very, very simple life. Their life are so simple that they don't even have an objective. That's from what I've seen, because they can just go by day doing nothing, but the time just passed by like that, and they just run around, farming, playing around, hang around, eat, and then go to sleep. So their life are so simple that they'll be thinking, you ask me to change. Why you ask me to change? They have this, when you tell them that, hey, this is good, this is good, this is good, whatever you tell them, then they'll be like, okay, it's good. So this is what I see, when I walked into the schools, first thing I see, wow, some schools have big compound because they have land, not like us, because we are chasing for so many materials and stuff. So we keep building. We have so many schools, so many buildings. But some of their schools are small. But to my surprise, all the villages have some sort of a school, no matter big or small, spacious or not, there's a school. This is very, very important. This is the first thing that they need to have in order to improve their lifestyle. Not to change, but to improve. They are just, basically, when you go into the schools, you will pass by the villages where they stay and everything, you will see that they're just basically eating from whatever they see. Water is from the ground. They are lucky to have the water pump, but the water is from the ground. I dare not drink from the water as well. I must boil the water. I don't want, because if we are there sick, what's the point going into helping them? Instead, they have to, the locals have to then, in return, help us back, right? So there's no point of us going there sick. So, but to them, it's their lifestyle already. They just pick it up, whatever that's on the floor, or it doesn't matter. You can see, I'm sure in Bogaya or anywhere such laid back or third world country, you can see all this such poverty, it's not really poverty to them. To them, it's like, this is just my life. I'm okay. Everyone lives the same. But to us, we know all this comes with health. And then if the lifestyle is not right, they will not have a improved life, like good health, better education, and the kids, they're just merely going to school because they know that they're going to school. So when I go into the school, the kids are, the children, oh my God, they are also like a piece of white paper and sponge, no matter what age, you can see they are just like, wow, Tzizi is coming, Tzizi is coming, Tzizi, and they're so happy. It's because they see something different, and they see that we touch their heart. They are so happy to see us because they know we are coming to change, but they don't know how to change. The kids are learning, but at the end of the day, I ask them, why don't you do homework? A lot of them don't do homework. This is one of the challenges that I've encountered from the local volunteers there. They said, Jeje, come. I said, what happened? I got no response from this class. The kids are difficult. They don't listen, and they don't do homework. I said, okay, but I don't understand what they're carrying out in the class because they're talking in Nepali. But when you look at it, they're just stare blankly. They're so happy to see us, and then after that, they just sit down and they stare blank. Whatever you teach them, they follow, they read, but they just stare blankly. So this is where I found out that okay, then I started asking, why you don't do homework? Probably they said sometimes I forget, sometimes I need to take care of the brother and sisters, sometimes I need to do house chores, sometimes I'm just going around, or learning how to ride a bicycle, hanging out with friends. To them, why do I need to do homework? There's nothing for them to look up on, no objective, no target to go to look for, because every day their life is just like that. So they come to school because it's a must to come to school, so they just come. But they like to come to school because they see people, they see friends, right? And most importantly, they see Tzizi people. Tzizi come with fresh new faces every time as we go into the schools, right? So they like to see us because we always touch their heart. We will care for them, not like their family don't care for them, but to them is so monotonous already. So when Tzizi come in, they learn a lot, to be more happy, to share, to serve, that we willing to come and teach, but what can they learn? So this is a process. As we go on, then we can see the kids, the way they can wear the same uniform the whole week, the whole month, sometimes. And they may not have slippers, they may have bags, but the bags are like, they use until it's being ripped off, and the way they are seated in the class, everything, you thought that, to me, I think that, those days when we were much younger, the classrooms are so small with all the, we don't have aircon, it's only fan with the wooden chairs and wooden table. But that's not just it, in their lives. It's even much worse to them. They may not even have electricity. Their electricity are like limited. They sometimes they can only turn on the fan for a few minutes. They even like set timers, I think. Some of the classes even there's no fan. So that's only window. But as you go in, you can feel, it's so hot, so warm and stuff. How can they concentrate? How can they read? And the whiteboard is the blackboard is so small, all this kind of thing, but they still make the effort to go to school because why? They know school is good. And that's it. So we are here to tell them it's more than that. How to live their life. We go in to teach 近似 aphorism. Then you can see why the teachers come back and say, it's Tzizi volunteers, please come in more. These are all feedbacks from the teachers, from the school teachers, and also the headmasters when I'm there. They like us to go in, teach the kids, and because we have fresh faces, they absorb even faster, they absorb more. Because if they see the, children always see the same old face. Boring lah. But when we make this change, going into the school from Zizi gives them a bigger impact. Then the next thing, then they'll say, okay, yes, I will change. I want to do homework because I want to live a better life. I want to be, Then I ask them what do they want to be when they grow up? Wow, a lot of answers. Policemen, teachers, engineers, a lot, doctors, all these big words come out. I was like, nice, impressive. Because at first I thought they would just say, I want to be teachers or maybe police, because these are easily seen, definitely teachers around them, and definitely there's police around them. But they come out with teachers and doctors. I was thinking, okay, you know all these people, but do you really know what the occupation is? What do they do? So, of course, the answer is no. So to me, this is why I'm saying that, they know they need to be there, but they don't know how to be there and don't know what to do. Therefore, education is very, very important. And when we go in there, we share with them what is right, what is wrong. I mean, not to say what is wrong, but how to improve their life from education, from the 金丝 aphorism, because all the life practices that we give them are as simple as daily routines. Very, very, very simple, like learning how to ride a bicycle, right, as a mode of transport, because some of them really just walk like so far away to go to school. Okay, then at least they have a bicycle, then it's easier for them to move around. And then sharing, do good deeds, help each other. So these are the things that can improve their life rather than just wasting, doing nothing, hanging around, just stand there. So this is very, very important for them. So they then realize, and then the kids then promises, okay, I'll do homework. I understand now, So these are very, very important as education. The most basic to change, in order to change their life, we need to improve their lifestyle, the way they live. So this is how actually 金丝 aphorism slowly help them day by day, not just from the kids, because the kids then will bring back to the family, from the family will go into the village. So this is coming to my next sharing, which is I've really glad that I'm able to also join in the activity of going into the villages, okay, because they are kickstarting the weekly book sharing session. So we go into the villages, we knock door by door, invite every family to come and join us at the book study, whereby it is led by the school principal. This is also one thing very important, because the only person that they look up on, they listen to, is teachers around them. Who else? No one. Teachers are very important. So to kickstart the book study, the principal are the one who's sharing, and then the teachers are the one who are doing the group sessions, the roundtable discussions, telling them what they have read. Wow, this is really, and they can reflect back to their daily lives. They understand Master's Dharma. Wow, this is something, it's, when I go in, it's like, wow, I feel so like, I really feel so bad, it's because I know English. There are so many master's book. Yeah, so I'm not a favor of a book person, but to these people, because they want to change their life, they make the effort to learn English, or if they don't know English, the teachers will then translate in Nepali or in whatever language, their local language they have, to learn what they can do better in life, right? To improve so that the children have a better future. So the book study went very well. To surprise, there's a lot of people. Initially, we were thought, nobody coming already, because don't know whether they will come or not. They just say, don't even know whether they understand or not. But eventually, it turned out quite well. Everybody came and they liked the session. And the feedback from the principal as well says this is very good, because when they share masters, simple thoughts, just very, very simple thoughts, and then they'll be like, ding, oh, I can do this. It lights up. Although it's very, very, very small from such a big study, right? Such a big dharma, but simple, small, little effort makes a big, huge difference to them. So with Jingse aphorism teaching to the children, with book sharing sessions that they have, we can see that it will help. It does help, and they are willing to come for more of the book sessions, which means we have successfully planted very, very small seed, and they can see the improvement. So that's why they are very, very interested and willing to come, because they want to change as well. They want to have a better life, especially for the children, right? And not lived in trying not to live, trying to, although you cannot change much of their economy or how they are, but at least they live a better life and they have a healthier body, right? So that's two things that I've managed to do in Lumbini. And lastly, what I've managed to help on is also to go into Ward 11, they call it. Ward 11 is where we help them build houses, give them a better home. Because when you go in there, their houses is not just merely bricks. Probably it's just a few sticks, bricks probably as well, but it's just bricks, like I said, and everyone is just one space. You eat, you sleep, and you do everything under that one roof, literally everything under one roof. And the space is probably just as big as a hall, or even smaller, and you have so many people staying in there, and everyone is so cramped in the village. Some are leaking, some are, it's really in bad condition. And then ended up, because they are in such bad condition, the kids does not want to go to school. They do nothing at home. Their life is wasted, and they don't have a good health. So, and then they just live as it is. So in order to have them improve as well, these are the little things that we can help them. A simple home, it's built for their basic needs. This is as much as we can do. But of course, hoping with all this that we go in, we are hoping to also plant a seed in all the villages, and they can see, oh, this is doing something good. And then from there, how we tell them to help each other. Everyone is so poor, right? They do not, how can I help? So as we look around, then we can see, all right, they don't have money, but how can they help each other? There's one thing they can do. They have a lot of rice. They have land. They have paddy. Some have small land, some have big lands. And they have, all this. But not everyone has land. So they probably may not have food. So what we do is we encourage them, to help each other with just a handful of rice. Instead of bamboo bank money, anything helps, right? From a little effort of teaching or a little effort of some rice. And then what they do is they give back to the society. So this is how we improve their lifestyle as well. It's so in Tzu Chi, we learn so many things, learning how to live a simple life, how to improve a life, and we know education is so important that this is how it starts to have a good to have a change of the way we are, change their mindset, change their lifestyle to improve and have a better future for the kids. So yeah, this is all. I'm really grateful that I'm able to see so much, because some of the volunteers will tell me, oh, you actually went to all where they can step foot in, and all the missions. I said, well, this is the objective of us going to serve, right? To see how they are first, and then we can come back with more insights, and then it's not that we are going there to help them just literally, but they are also helping us to understand our life, what we have here. We are so advanced, but do we appreciate that much? How do you say live a simple life? What is a simple life? Master can just say, okay, just live a simple life. Does that mean do nothing? No. Every single time there's an opportunity to do good, to serve, and to give back to the society. So this is what we have to do. Poverty is not just a dead end, but even with poverty, we can also still live a simple life and still give back to the society in any means, anyhow. And education is the base. Anything can be a form of education. Just simply teaching them to live a life, it's also an education. Teaching them how to grow up, it's also an education. Teaching them how to learn and to give back to society, it's also a form of education. So I'm really grateful that I am as well a part of this education team. Otherwise, I won't be able to see such side of education as well. Everyone knows, yeah, education is good for the children, but what we have here is to, people will say, oh, I want to be smarter, I want to get more money, but not there in Lumbini. They are just simple life that we need to improve so that they don't, they can improve the economy, but of course, for the good health as well. Yep. So I guess that's about it from what I want to share. So anyone who has the opportunity, yes, please do take this golden opportunity, be it in Malaysia or anywhere. Just reach out and seize the opportunity. There's so much more to learn from them, not us just giving and helping them, but actually they are helping us to reflect on ourselves as well. Thank you.
And then Sister Alicia, what a wonderful insight to simple life on your realization, and obviously opening the hope for others through education. And as a result of which we hope to elevate from that condition to bring light and love to them, to realize that's a lot of light outside there. Thank you for sharing that light and the love. And hopefully one day we can realize from your sharing how do we how to live a simple life in a very complicated world that we are facing right now. All right, so we would Sister Su Ching, I think since President Alicia's birthday, a couple of days ago, I believe.
Yeah.
I think we should dedicate a birthday song to you,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, go is here's a birthday songs. Is that Alicia?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right. I believe you're only 25 years old, right?
Thank you.
All right. So let's move on to 7 a.m. now. So we now move on to Brother Sean Tan from Malaysia. We're going to move on to Taiwan. Brother Sean is a Malaysian, but is a pure practitioner based in Taiwan. Obviously, for that, is very dedicated. And one of our regular speakers, and in the last sharing, Brother Sean, we shared with us the disaster relief, and I think back in April. And today, you notice that in a note, it is topic list. So it's as vast as the universe, Brother Sean, to share us your insights on your relations. There you go. And obviously we do look forward to your great insights.
Thank you, Brajin. And happy birthday to Sister Alicia. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to share again with you. Last week I got informed by Sister Su Ching, and I was shocked that time flies. Because it has been 2 months ago, right? Since my last sharing. And then I wasn't ready yet because recently we was just finished our trip with masters around Taiwan for 33 days. We start visit southern part of Taiwan, Kaohsiung, then to Taichung and Changhua and few others location, and then we ended up our Suishi visit trip with masters in Taipei just few days ago. Yep. So I was travel quite a few places, and then recently I'm not sure if everyone here aware that we got an auspicious stay in Jingse Abode very soon. 2 days later, we will be having a certifications program for our pure practitioners and also our ordained ceremony for our Jingse Abode master. Yep. So today's I'm going to share some topics that is quite. I'm not sure the topics is familiar to you or not, but I think it might be quite new for a lot of volunteers. Yeah, which is the auspicious day in Jingse Abode, which usually a lot of lay people or like the Tsuchi volunteers doesn't got the opportunities to join, which is quite special. So 2 days later, we're going to have the certifications for pure practitioners and also the Jingse Abode Masters Ordained. We have 2 pure practitioners to get certified, which is our fourth batch of the certified certifications for ceremony for pure practitioners. But for Jingse Abode Masters, I think we got quite a lot before already. So we have another 2 Jingse Abode Masters to be get ordained 2 days later. So I think this is a big day for Jingse Abode. If you get the opportunities to be in Jingse Abode that time, I think you'll be like get surprised because it will seems like a Chinese New Year, which is a big day for Jingse Abode. Yep. So before I get into a little bit more on that, I would like to bring to you a little bit on the background on the traditions of Buddhists, which we have monk, bhiksu, a nun, bhikshuni, upasaka, and also sometimes we call it upasika. Yubo Sai Yubo Yi, which usually when you are reciting the sutra, no matter what sutra, Lotus Sutra, Innumerable Meaning Sutra, or other sutra, you can see when the start in the starting part of the sutra, you will see it will be mentionings about like from what I heard from Buddha, one day the Buddha start teaching in which location, which time, and then with monk, nun, upasaka, upasika, and kings, and a lot others people. So who is those monk and nun? Actually, all the monk and nun belongs to Sangha. Sangha is the team of the Buddha's disciple, which they follow and they devote the whole life to be the what we call the person who preach the Dharma. So in general, we call it as call them as a Sangha. So we said we are the followers for Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So Sangha, for the male Sangha, we call it as Bhiksu. And for the female, we call it Bhikshuni. Or usually, commonly, we call as monk and nun. But in Chinese, when you have any chance, getting chance to come to in Taiwan or China, anywhere with the Chinese people, that usually they will call it wrongly. We don't call a female a sangha a nun as we usually will call as bichoni in Mandarin. But sometimes when you get chance, you heard a lot of Malaysians or some other countries people, they'll call it as niku. Niku is not some words that is much that's proper for a general sangha. So niku is a little bit more like unsuitable. So whenever you heard someone say it, oh, 那个尼姑, that niku, this term is not that suitable for a female sangha. So usually, in a proper way, when we call it a female sangha, we call it as a nun, a bhikshuni, or in Mandarin, we call it bichoni. So this is a very common mistake that we usually will make. Okay, so we didn't call a female sangha as a niku. We usually call it as bichoni. And laity, as what we are all online right now, we are all belongs to the laity, 在家居士, upasaka, upasika. So for the male laity, we call it upasaka. For female lady, we call it that upasika. So in general, in Jingse abode, we have both. So usually what we call it as a team of monastic practitioner. We have a Jingse abode master. We call it as a bichoni, Jingse Shifu. Much commonly we call it as Jingse Shifu. So how long and what is the process for a female disciple as a lady to get ordained? It takes a few years because in general, in tradition, whenever a person who wants to get ordained, become a nun or monk, it needs to take some practice. So in Jingse abode, we are a little bit different from the from some others temple, that usually we are not just focusing on the Dharma. So in a lot of different temples, the Sangha team, the monk or nun, they are just focusing on the Dharma Sutra. So they just have the work, what we say work, their mission, their main mission is to just deliver Dharma to the disciple. That's all. And then how they get survive, they get donations from the disciple. But in Jingse abode, we are focusing on the practice in our daily life. So we need to be self-sustained. No work, no meal. So in Jingse abode, for Jingse abode masters, before they get ordained, they need to get through at least 2 to 3 years training. So for the first few months, if you have ever have chance to be in Jingse abode, you might be seen some new uniform, not just the gray uniform and white pants, blue uniform with white pants, or like 旗袍 and 八珍道, different uniform. You might encounter different uniforms. So if you are not in Jingse abode before, so you can see our Jingse abode masters, Jingse Shifu, they'll be wearing a robe. This is a short robes. We have different robes for our abode masters. Depends on this scenario. So you can see if you come back to Jingse abode in Taiwan, you can see a lots of Jingse abode, they're wearing the short robes to ease for them to carry out daily operations. So that's the medium robes. Medium robes will be like a little bit longer until the knees, which is much more common when in Jingse abode, when we are using lunch, dinners, or breakfast. So they're wearing their medium robes. So whenever Jingse abode masters, when they go overseas into Malaysia or the much more formal occasion, they're wearing the long robes. So whenever Master Zheng Yan, Sang Ren, when she's teaching, so she's wearing another brown colors robes. So that's much more proper. So that we have different occasions wearing different robes. And for a female disciple or a female deity, before they get ordained, they need to go through about 2 to 3 years training, and they are wearing this kind of uniform. The color is a little bit purplish gray color. So whenever you come back to a boat, you see some lady, female wearing shirts like this. This is much more a female deity that going to be a monk, to be a nun after 2 or 3 years training. So we are a little bit different from the others temple. So in general, Bicho Biksu Sangha, why they call this Bicho? Bicho is actually translated from the Sanskrit. So Biksu literally means beggar, or one who live by alms or donations. So in Chinese, what master teaches is that a bhiksu or bhikshuni, a sangha, they are literally a beggar. It's not like the beggar that you see on the streets, but it's a person who actually receiving some things. So in Mandarin, I can't really, my English is not that good. So if my translation is not that proper, please forgive me, or you can message me afterwards for better translation. So I didn't find any direct translations or the complete translations from online. So I tried to translate by myself. So for the bhiksu or bhikshuni, a sangha, they are actually receiving dharma from the Buddha to grow their wisdom. So in Mandarin, Master said, Bicho is a Sangqi Fa, receiving dharma from the upper, from the masters, from their masters, from their Buddha, to grow their wisdom. So just like the beggar, so they're receiving something, but they are receiving dharma. It's not a food. So they are receiving dharma to grow their wisdom, and then how they sustain their life. So they're receiving donation to sustain their daily life. So 下气使以知色身. So in a normal temple and in Jingse abode, we actually a temple in Jingse abode. So when we are having our meal, so before we are having our meal, as a sangha team, we should pray and also to send our gratitude to all the people that are actually helping us to sustain our life. So before we are having our meal, so we are actually we will try to feel grateful, and then thanks for everyone that sustained our life. So before we having our meal, we will be reciting the 5 phrases, but I can't really translate it into English. So that in general it calls like it sounds like 济公多少量比来处. So we should think about how much we contribute to the people, to all sentient beings before we having this food. 济公多少量比来处，寸取得横，全切应供. So it means like how much 功德, how much how much your功德, what should we call 功德in English? So if someone can translate for me, I think that would be good. Yes. Yeah. So we should system. I can't really hear.
It's merits and virtue.
Oh yeah, merits. Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much. So 积功多少，量比来处，寸起得横，全切因功.
Oh
So
yeah,
it
it's called merits and
depends on,
virtues, 功德.
we should always yes, and before you eat, to remind ourselves how much merits and virtue we have along the way, and then 寸取得横，全切因功. And then we should remind ourselves we are not having this food just for our desire. And then also for having this food, this is to sustain our life, but not to grow our greed. And then for all the foods that we have, that is actually helping us to grow our wisdom, to attain the Buddhahood. It's not to grow our greed. So that's the 5 phrases that we always recite before we use our meal. So whenever you have chance to be in Jingse Abode, you can look around in the Zai Tang, the place where we, dining hall where we have our food, inside the main dining hall, that the same space that with Master Zheng Yan, and you can see the 5 phrases. 积功多少，量比来处，寸起得横，全切因供，贪等为宗, and then and that another 2. So they are all in Mandarin. So if you can't understand, you can ask someone to translate for you. So this is what we call as a bhiksu, a bhikkhu. So we are actually not asking food for our greed to sustain our life. So why we have to sustain our life? Because the purpose, the missions for a bhiksu is to deliver the Dharma. So whenever they need to deliver Dharma, so they need to receive the Dharma from the Buddha. So this is what the definitions of bhiksu. So why should a Sangha receiving a Dharma or donations? So this is quite simple. This is what I have mentioned before, because they want to give the deity, the lay people, to get the opportunities to plant fu tian, to make good deeds. So for Sangha, in traditions, Buddhists, we believe that whenever making the donations to a Sangha, this is a way to making a good deeds, and then this is a way to grow our merits. So this is the traditions one. But in Chiji, this is quite special, that in Chiji, our volunteer also receiving donations, but not for themselves, but this is actually for who? For the needy people. So actually, Chiji volunteers, we still we are actually doing the same thing, a little bit similar, because we receiving donations. But why we should receive donations? You can see, even Tan Sri Vincent, he before he get certified as a volunteers, commissioners, and also Su Ching, he also asking for donations. I can still recall after he get donations in Times Square, which is belonged by himself. So after he actually asking for donations. I'm not sure. I think there's a flood in Malaysia, so he's asking donations. So after that event, he shared that he feels shy because asking money from other people is not that easy. And then he says that it will be easier for himself to making donations, and he can make much more money donated by himself rather than just standing there for 1 hour and then he just get a few hundred or few thousands. And then sometimes his staff is actually helping make to make the donations. So he just get a few hundreds or a few thousands for that hour for making donations. So what's the purpose for Master Cheng Yan Sang to asking Tzu Chi volunteers to asking for donations? So we can listen for this sharing. Oh, sorry, I think I should share the song.
Penang and Butterworth to help clean up the schools so that the children can get back to schools to sit for their exam comfortably. So we cleaned up about 25 schools and institutions over the last 2 days.
槟城发生近10年严重水灾，慈济动员各州志工投入救灾工作。马来西亚成功集团特别拨款马币25万令吉给慈济基金会作为救灾用途。
And we hope other Malaysians, more Malaysians will come out and help so that they can continue to help in the Penang flood situation.
除了拨款，成功集团创办人丹斯里陈志远还亲自到商场向民众募款。
Today I thought it is good to show that by example that we are willing to stand in the public and collect money. And it is a good experience and I'm very happy that I'm able to do it.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
同样出钱出力，在百忙中抽空参与街头募款的丹斯里林伟才，他是全球最大的手套制造供应商。
出力就是你会留在你的心中，你的头脑啊比较长久啊，比较记得。出钱很快就忘记了，出力不是每次有机会出了所以出力的价值会高一点，但是出钱也好了反正要做好事。就对了。
两位都是上市公司老板，他们放下身段走入人群，向民众募的不只是善款，更多的是一份民众献给滨州灾民的祝福。
That's why flood happened in Malaysia. So Brother Vincent Tan and also Brother Ling Wei Chai, both of them they are actually making donations in Times Square. So oh yeah, for a few hours they only get donations about $36 ringgit. So that's so little for them. So Master said, why we should we should have our Tzu Chi volunteers to get donation, because Master wants to remind us that in our traditions, Buddhist traditions, Sangha, they should get donations from the laity, from the people. So the purpose to get the donations is to make oneself to be humble and tackling our arrogance. Because during 2,600 years ago, when Prince Siddhartha Gautama to become a Buddha, and then lots of the disciples, they are actually coming from the high level, high class. So in in traditions India system, there's a caste system. So a lot of the disciples, they are actually coming from the upper level, from the Brahmins level. So they are actually having a very high level of the social status. So the purpose to us, the Sangha, to get donations, is to humble oneself and also to tackling arrogance. So masters, when brother Lin Weichai and also brother Vincent Tan share with masters. So for a few hours, they get donations from the crowd. They only get 36 ringgit. It's not even 100, 36 ringgit. So they feel shy at first, but that actually gives them a very, very deep reminders to be humble. Master said, yes, this is very good for you because in traditions Buddhist, all the sanghas, they need to get donations. The purpose is not to get just the food or the money. The purpose is to humble oneself, to tackling arrogance. So another things that the purpose of the to remove the arrogance for a bhiksu and bhikshuni. In Thailand, I'm not sure if you're aware that in Thailand or Myanmar or some others I don't know part of Malaysia, the countries in, so we call this as Nanchuan Buddhism. So they aren't allowed a female to be to get ordained. So there's there's no any bhikshuni, the proper bhikshuni, because there's only have male ordained monk. So, but in Mahayana, so we have bhikshuni, but in Hinayana, not all the countries they have bhikshuni. So where and how there's the first bhikshuni? The first bhikshuni is actually formerly the queen of the Sudodana, which is Buddha's nun. So her name in Mandarin, we call it as Dai Dao Bhikkshuni, or in Sanskrit, she's called as Mahapajapati Bhikshuni, Dai Dao Bhikkshuni. So she's actually Buddha's aunt, Bhikshuni Mahapajapati. So Bhikshuni Mahapajapati, she is actually the aunt of Buddha. But during those times, Buddha has only male disciple. He doesn't have any female disciple those time. But this Bhikshuni Mahapajapati, the Buddha's aunt, with 500 female followers, all together approach Buddha and asking, is that possible for a female to be a bhikshuni, to be a proper practitioners, Buddhist practitioners? So at first, Buddha doesn't allow a female to get ordained, but after they're asking lots of time, and then who is the one that persuade Buddha? Ananda is the one that persuade Buddha to get female to get ordained. So we should really thanks to Ananda. Ananda is the person that records all the Buddha's teaching, and also he's the one that asking Buddha to allow female to get ordained to become a nun. So yes, we have a nun. We have to thanks for Ananda. Then we have to thank Anand for asking Buddha's permission. So in traditions, Buddhists, for a nun, they should follow the 8 commandments for nuns, so that they remove the arrogance. Because in old days, in 2,600 years before, there isn't any system we call as SDG, gender equality. We didn't have that issue. Even right now in India, I'm not sure, just now Sister Steve mentioned about that or not, female, they have a lower positions compared to male. So that's why we need to promote gender equality. But in those days, they didn't have that yet. So for a female, before they get ordained, they should follow the 8 commands for nuns. So in Jing's abode, we are slightly different. We are actually difference from others traditions temple, but there's one lineage called Bai Zhang Can Shi lineage. They are actually following these rules. especially you can see that in Mahayana temple. Some of the temple, they didn't get any donations, just like Jingse Abode. So we are actually following Bai Zhang Can Shi practice, which we sustain our life by ourselves. So no work, no meal. So this is how Dharma masters in Jingse Abode live in the monastic life. We have to sustain our life by working every day. So the slogan that we have is no work, no meal in Jingse Abode. So after 2 years, they practice in 2 to 3 years, they practice in Jingse Abode, and then that is not formally called as a bhikshuni. They need to get ordained. So whenever you come to Jingse Abode, you can see a Jingse Shifu. And then they looks all alike, but some of the Jingse Shifu, they didn't get the proper full ordination ceremony. So how you can see the difference? You can see there's a 3 dots here. So which in Mandarin we call it as a 戒疤. So when you come back to Jingse Abode, you can see some masters, Jingse Shifu, they didn't have that 3 dots here. 戒疤. This is the precepts ceremony, full ordination ceremony in a triple platform full ordination ceremony, 三坛大戒. So this is a proper one. Before Jingse Abode masters get the full ordained, they need to pass through another 2 to 3 years. So first, a deity and a lay people, before they need to get ordained, they need to go to 2 to 3 years training in Jingse Abode before they get the first ordained to wear exactly the same like a Jingse Shifu. But they need to take another 2 to 3 years before they can attend the triple platform of full ordination ceremony. This ceremony is actually held in Taipei. They actually welcome all the shifu, the nuns and monks, to join to attend the triple platform of full ordination ceremony. So you can see the difference, not just from the shirt and the 3 dots here, 戒疤, that you can differentiate Jingse Shifu that join triple platform full ordination ceremony and without that they didn't join the triple platform for full ordination ceremony. So that's all for the Sangha part, for laity part, for the lay practitioners. So all of us, we are called as a laity, and we are actually we have a different spatial terminology in Jingse Abode. I think you might be aware that we have pure practitioners, 清修士. 清修士 is a new way for only in Jingse Tzu Chi that we have a pure practitioner. Pure practitioners is actually called as Upasaka or Upasika. But the differences is that we are kind of like the full-time practitioner. So we devote 100% of ourselves, our time, our efforts and everything to Chi Chi. So masters call it as 清修士 in Mandarin, and in English we name it as pure practitioner. So Upasaka is actually a lay person, and then for 精舍清修士 pure practitioners, we need to having the training a little bit, but we are not exactly the same like Jingse Abode masters that need to go through that we call it as 轮值. We for abode masters, they need to go to kitchen to learn how to cook. They need to go to different sport to learn different texts. But for Jingse Abode pure practitioners, our main missions is to go into the crowd, is to get opportunities to meet with all the peoples from different religions, all around, from the people from all walks of life, and then to deliver Dharma. But the way of deliver Dharma is not like chanting and then reciting sutra. No, we are actually delivering Dharma's teaching, Dharmas by our daily operations, by our work, by our the way that we speak with others people. So this is quite a little difference. So let us watch this video. This is the video on the 敬师金舍pure practitioners certifications ceremony.
32位亲修士闻法入道，愿舍小家之爱，利益天下众生。一念清净，发心誓愿，虔诚坚定，行入人间菩萨道。
40多年来，自认为很认真的追随上人，可惜觉得还不够，所以现在呢，就现清修士的身。那我们呢，在此时此刻呢，更有使命，将上人的法，实际大爱的利他的精神，那可以传扬人间。
So for another 2 days, next Monday, which is there will be a 敬师 about 清修士 peer provisioners certification ceremony. It looks something like this, and also we have 敬师 about masters that get the ordinations ceremony in abode. We have 2 peer practitioners get certified this year, and then we have 2 Dharma masters to be 2 laity to be Dharma masters to get ordained next Monday. So we have this ceremony. After 2 to 3 years, we become we making devotions to make to become a pure practitioners. We need to go through the training, 见习培训, and also we get interview sessions with our seniors, a few seniors peer practitioners, and also Dharma masters. And then we get after the interview sessions, then we will be like confirmed to get certified. So this is the ceremony. So some of you might not understanding the meaning, but it is all fine. This is all about the making devotions, making vow to be full-hearted, to be Buddha's followers, to be Master Cheng followers, to be fully devotions to all sentient being. So this is the ceremony. And then for so last 3 years we have our 慈济慈济论坛, the 慈济 forum 3 years ago, if I'm not getting wrong, 3 or 4 years ago. So one of the professors, Professor Richard Combridge, so he mentions about Master Cheng Yen Sangren. She is actually using a very traditional Buddhist way, but she applied it into the lay practitioner's life. So Masters is actually transformed lay practitioners into Sangha-like system. So you can see our Su Ching volunteers, whenever we go out, we will be lining up. So, and also whenever we have our food, we will remind ourselves, we need to making vow, we need to be 感恩, singing 感恩歌, and then we need to like fold our bed after using it. It is something like a Sangha-like system. So Masters is actually transformed. She is actually teaching us to be practitioners. So all of us, not just a pure practitioners, for all the Master's disciple, no matter you are the certified volunteers or a non-certified volunteers, so Masters always try to deliver Buddha's teaching into our daily Tzu Chi operations. But Masters is not meant to convert everyone from a non-Buddhist into a Buddhist. No, but Masters want to deliver Buddha's teaching into our work. So all the charities, missions, medical missions, or different missions that we are actually applying right now, that is actually starting from where? From Buddha's teaching. So Professor Richard Gombrich, he mentions that Masters is actually established a rigorous lay organization and deliver such formations and footprints into world's knowledge system. So there's an integration of Buddha's teaching for a traditions Buddha's teaching and our world knowledge system. So Masters try to merge both together and then giving us a good Bodhisattva path for us to follow. So for a non-Buddhist, this is all fine because the Buddha's teaching is just our teacher. So in Mandarin, you call Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛. Namo is to make a refuge to our masters, to our teachers. 释迦牟尼佛, Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛. So we are actually learning, we are actually respecting the teacher, Buddha Sakaya Muni. So Sakaya Muni, Buddha is actually our teachers. So masters just transform and also to get all the teaching from the Buddha and also applied it into Tzu Chi. So for a non-Buddhist volunteer, this is all fine because all the teaching, it goes back to what? The great love. It's about love. Love to all the sentient being. In Christianity teaching, they also mentions about compassion to all our to the people that around us. And in Muslim, they said we have to love our neighbors, to the people that come from all along the way. So this is all about love. So in Buddhist, in Muslim, in Christianity, they are all mentions about the love, the great love. So the common value that masters pass it to all the disciples is about love. The love that teach from Buddha. So I can't really fully translate for these 4 phrases that always remind me myself. So for a lay deity and also a sangha, so it can be so I keep remind myself for these 4 different status because we have 4 different status per person in the world. So we have the body and spiritually ordained sangha. We have the lay person, but we spiritually ordained, like us, pure practitioners. We have lay people that spiritually also lay. 身未出家, 心也未出家 is normal people. And then we have a person, 身出家, 心未出家. So this is actually a form, a status. Masters always remind us that it's not about our body, our appearance. It's all that's all importance based on the spiritual. So for a pure practitioners and Jingse, what is the differences? The difference is just the appearance. 身出家, 心出家, and pure practitioner, 身未出家, but 心出家. So what's the difference between pure practitioners and also Jingse masters? The difference is just the appearance, but spiritually we are both the same. So another 2 days, it will be our the auspicious day for Jingse Board. So if you happen to be in Taiwan, if you have chance, welcome to join us. So the pure practitioners and also the master's ordination ceremony will be held next Monday around 9 to 10 o'clock. So if you if you got the chance to be in Taiwan, welcome to join us in Jingse Board next Monday. I think that's all from my side for today's step sharing. Thank you so much.
And then Brother Sean, thank you for the great insights on the types of practitioners. In the time of the Buddha, the 4 types of practitioners, the bhikkhu, bhikkhunis, upasaka, and upasika, which some ways are still being practiced today. I love your sharing about the lay people. Obviously, we're all lay people for us. Actually, we don't have time, but I hope you'll come back one day and share with us your insights as a pure practitioner in your board. I'd love to hear that. What would you what are the discipline and the rules that you would need to observe for you in your position as a practitioner in Search? And obviously, importantly, you brought up the point about Queen Mahajapati, who actually been ordained as a nun because of the of Ananda, the bleeding Ananda. Otherwise, we won't be where we are today for Searchy, really. And your last point about being ordained spiritually and spiritually lay, I suppose it is a thought for us to contemplate whether we are spiritual beings living the human life, or are we human beings living the spiritual life? That's a bit of a difference in that. Thank you so much, indeed. Love your talk. All right, next we need to move on. We have our brother Bernard, who is a media relations section manager from Su Ching, Singapore. So from Malaysia, we flew out to Taiwan, now down south to Singapore. And Su Ching Singapore is the content lead of a Glow on Gallery project. And we have been Su Ching since 2007 and commissioner in 2013. Now, his qualification is a bachelor in environmental engineering and a master in anthropology. Now, that aptly puts the title of his talk as Firefly as a metaphor. That's your anthropology qualification. And your environmental engineering on the framework of sustainability. So, Brother Bernard, platform is all yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sister Alicia. Happy birthday to you. And thank you, Brother Sean, also. Last time we used to share our Xun Fa Xiang in the online platform also. So, okay, let me share our slide, my slide. Okay. Yeah. A very good morning to all of you. Yeah. So I will share about these Glow on galleries. As you can see from the name, Glow on actually means two things. First, which means that to shine. So it's to shine like a firefly. So we are using these metaphors to link the content of this gallery. And then in Chinese, the name is 慈济永续生活馆. So we talk about the sustainabilities. And you can see we purposely putting the two direction in the Chinese and English name because we want to showcase different things to our different target audience. Yeah, so first of all, I would like to ask all of you, do you know where is this place? Yeah, I think it's so famous that everyone in the world know. This is the Singapore Jewel, Changi Jewel, which is a famous shopping mall just next to the Changi Airport. The building itself won the Building of the Years in year 2020 and also the Design Awards in year 2020. So there is only one building won the Building of the Years in each year, but there is a list of buildings will get these Design Awards in each year. So among all the lists of the building that won this architect award, one of them is our Singapore Su Ching Humanistic Youth Center. So the very outstanding architecture firm under the guidance of Master, we designed a youth center that with a modern range design just next to a beautiful pond. So we won this Singapore Institute of Architects Design Awards. And the gallery I'm going to talk about just located inside this center. the area of this center is this gallery is about 336 square meters. So you can see the before and after comparison of these galleries. So it's quite amazing for us like to take 3 years back and forth to collaborate with different teams. So in the end, we curated these galleries. So actually, where is this Humanistic Youth Center? Where is the with short form we call HYC? It's located at the northern part of Singapore, very near Malaysia, near the Pasir Gudang of the Johor state in Malaysia. And then if we zoom into this, the environment of this youth center, you can see there's a very scenic pond next to it. We call it Yishun Pond. And people can jog around the Yishun Pond Park. And then next to this youth center, there's Kudapuat Hospitals, one of the very big hospital in Singapore. And it is green hospitals because the hospital is a sister hospital with the Su Ching Hospital in Taiwan. So both of the Su Ching Hospital and Kudapuat Hospital signed MOU to promote green and vegetarianism in these hospitals. And then just next to this youth center, we have the futsal arena, which is a football field. And every day you can see a lot of the youth playing football in this football field. So it's a very useful place next to a very nature place. And then when we first established this youth center, we already identified the 5 pillars of this youth center. And the first 4 of these pillars in line with the objective of these go-on galleries. So they are the art and culture, the social awareness, youth wellness, and volunteerism. The last one now we are a little bit lacking behind, but I think in the near future, the center itself will put more resources in this young parenting. And if you have the chances to visit this center, our gallery is just located when you go in from the main entrance, and then you turn right. The gallery itself is at the end of this path. The project itself for us is take 3 years, and then not only including the gallery that I talked about, the go-on gallery, we're also in charge of the entrance gallery, which is the main entrance that I mentioned just now. Previously, it was all empty without any display item, but we found that there's a need for us to introduce who is Su Ching and who is youth center to the young generation. For the student, they are using this space as a study area. So the objective of having this entrance gallery is to have the very brief introduction to the user, to the visitor in this HYC. And we also introduce the missions, the 4 missions plus additional the environmental protection mission, and also our international relief efforts and our AI technologies in these entrance galleries. So this entrance gallery we complete in the 3rd quarter last year, and for the go-on gallery we complete this year 3rd quarters. So now we come back to a very fundamental questions. Why we're having a gallery and exhibition in the youth center? Actually, it's good to understand that in urban area, like those very modern cities, there's a trend for the young generations to visit art gallery or the exhibition or the museum. So it's a way for people to gain knowledge, to to understand a lot of the information by visiting exhibitions. So exhibition is also a way of the communication channel because it is a 3D experience. It is a 5 senses experience for the visitors. So what are the message that we're going to convey to our target audience? Obviously, it's strategic value. We want to convey a strategic value to our target audience, which is the local English speaking youth. But of course, there's challenge because for the local youth, they are not pretty much interested in the history of NGO or the organizational value of an NGO, especially the NGO itself is originated from Taiwan. So it's hard to find a common point or common ground between the target audience and the message they would want to convey. So we try to find out the common ground. And then the framework of this sustainability came in because we observed for the young generation, they are really very, very care about the future because of course, they live longer, so they will experience the climate crisis they're being faced by them when they are still alive. So sustainability become a common language that we're going to share strategic value to them. So what is the sustainability framework? When we talk about sustainability, we should not only focus on the environmental aspect because people need to live a living. We need to consider the social context, the cultural context of certain community before we start a green initiative. So the aspect of the social and the aspect of the economics, these 3 aspects are all equally important. By considering these 3 aspects, the initiative will be sustainable in the future. So our team finally come out with a positioning of this gallery itself. We want to be the first choice for the local to learn sustainable living. So when people think of sustainable living, they will think of this Golden Gallery and they will expect what to learn from our gallery. And then for the sustainability itself, among these 3 aspects, the easiest aspect to achieve should be this environmental aspect. And the most difficult aspect to achieve is the economic aspect because there are so many green initiatives around the world, but people still don't want to change the habit or adopt the new model because sometimes they found it's not economic viable, financially available to adopt a new initiative. But I think you can notice we use the word sustainable living. Why sustainable living instead of the sustainabilities? Because sustainability itself is more profound. It's not that academics. So we use the word sustainable living. It's more friendly for the public. So it should be something, the thing that we suggest in this gallery itself should be practicable at the individual level instead of the community level or the policy making level. So we want to make sure that everything, the message we convey there should be applicable for every individual. And then we want to promote that volunteerism and eco-sustainability as a lifestyle for everyone. Last one, we want to relate the content of this gallery to the national policy, which is the Singapore Green Plan 2030. So maybe I take one examples of how we can use these three aspects to retell the story of our Su Ching. So just coincidentally, Mother Sean share about this and things about lifestyle. Yeah, our adopt master in things about actually they practice they build a sustainable communities 60 years ago. First, you can see that our monastery, our master there, they live a zero waste lifestyle. They cherish everything. They cherish every natural resources given to them. They try to minimize the waste they created. So this is the environmental aspect, and then they also support the Su Ching Foundation global charity work. So they serve as a very strong backbone for the volunteers to, especially in terms of the logistics or the spiritual teaching, to support us to carry on with our charity works. So this is the contribution of the things about to the rest of the world. And then the last one, they practice the no work, no meal principle, which they grow their own products, they manufacture their own products and sell it through the global things outlet and become self-reliant financially. Another point to look at this from this angle is we know that all the global enterprise, they really emphasize on the credibility because there's a trust between the customer and the enterprise itself. So as our things about, because we really follow, in terms of financially, we follow strictly. We want to build a trust between the donor and our organization itself. So there's a strong credibility being showcased by our things about master themselves. So by using this example, we can retell the story of this Su Ching using the framework of the sustainabilities. And in the gallery itself, it showcases several products that our adopt making. So one of them is the tearless candles. So how can we tell the stories? We can say like back then in 1981, where the international organization or the United Nations, they haven't started to talk about this sustainability. Our master already noticed the importance of this sustainability. She not about the wax, the common candle is wasting a lot of wax. So she innovated a candle they're using the Yakult bottles. So your Yakult bottles, for the other is a waste, right? So people may throw away, but our master, she tried to reuse everything. So it's try to apply the concept of this zero waste. And then she used the Yakult bottle as a mold and the incense as a wicks. So to replace the original wicks, which is couldn't fit in. So the incense itself is a very cultural common things. It's a very culturally fits into the Taiwanese communities. It's a very common material can found in Taiwan. And then the incense allow the candle to burn completely without dipping the wax or emitting any black smoke. So the candle itself is a tearless candles. So the monastery, the master in our adopt can sell the candles to the public, so to self-sustain financially. So using the item itself, we can also tell the stories from these three aspects. Yeah, so our target audience for this gallery is primarily is Singapore youths, and then second and third is those business or education institution that they want to fulfill their CSR, and also the government agency and the grassroots organization, because previously these two group of people always write in, they want to visit our Eco Awareness Center. They want to learn about our environmental efforts, how Su Ching really apply the environmental efforts into our daily life. So this group of people, they are really interested to learn about our eco efforts. But our eco awareness center already closed down during the COVID time. So the function is they will move to these go on galleries. And last but not least, our Su Ching partners, because they agree with our values. So we want them to learn more about Su Ching. And then Su Ching volunteers also is another group of people they want to serve. Because no matter be it old volunteer or the senior volunteers, there's something that we can learn and relearn in these galleries. And our team established 5 strategy so we can move on for the curation. The first strategy is the project itself should be the project that walk the talk. So all the party involved should try our best to minimize the carbon footprints from the installation phase to the operation phase. And then second, the layout and the design of this gallery should be in line with the HYC aesthetics and also the contemporary design, so we can attract the eyeball of the young generation. So how can we minimize the carbon footprints? So we bought or we get those second-hand furnitures and make them become the display items in our gallery. So you can see the single sewing machine. I think a lot of people in their nanny house, they can find this sewing machine. And these sewing machines we get from nanny who cannot doing the sew work because already sick. And then her daughter sew to us. But we preserve everything of this sewing machine. In the drawer itself, all the sewing tool and item being used by this old nanny, we can still find in the drawer. Yeah. And then also you can see the very classic bathtubs we bought online also, secondhand, and also the wooden door and the wooden wardrobes, all are being used by as display items. And also one of the display zone we talk about fast fashion. So we collect the unwanted clothes being thrown by local residents. We collected around 80 kg from a social enterprise. It's a very easy task to complete because there are so much that with Singapore people throw away so many unwanted clothes. So we can achieve this task in a blink eyes, and we engage our volunteer to tidy up this unwanted clothes and put it nicely into the wardrobes. And on the right, we can see our volunteer. They are collecting the plastic bottles from a marathon events. So they gather the clean bottles and then we wash it again and then we dry it. But why we want to collect so many plastic bottles? Because we want to make into very huge glowing globes at the entrance as an eye-catching display item. This glowing globe itself is made from 1,800 PET bottles. So you can see the bottom of the plastic bottle is displayed on the surface of the globes. All these efforts, we engage our partners, CBG Corporation, to count the carbon footprints. So the total carbon mitigates in this gallery is around 668 kg of carbon dioxide, and it's equivalent to the carbon dioxide being absorbed by 30 mature trees in a year. And then second, the HYC aesthetics. We try to preserve the design element of the HYC. So you can see the human character, Chinese character on the rooftop of the main entrance. And then we preserve the elements in the gallery itself. And also the die cuts to show the location, the name of the location in the center, to show, like, for example, the top one, the classroom name is as a power station. So also we preserve the same design element in the gallery itself to show the zone. And also the right one, we can see the bamboo bank itself, very basic fundamental spirits in the modern Gen's design. And what is the third to fifth strategy? We actually, the third one is we try to make our display items interactive, but low carbons. Why? Because all those high-tech interactive installation, most of them, they are very energy consuming. So it's not in line with our first principle. And then also we are also restricted by our budget. So we will try to install those mechanical installation, and we present the Tzu Chi content in a non-historical narrative. We used to tell the story of Tzu Chi by saying, like, for example, the first decade as the decade of charity mission, the second decade as the decade of medicine mission. But we found that it might not be so attractive for the young generation because it's too, they are not mature enough to understand the importance of history. So we're trying to reshape the narrative from the non-historical approach. And then number 4, we try to involve our community volunteers and the partner from the center to participate as a community project. And the 5th, we want to collect data from the visitor to reflect our influence on the local communities. So how are we going to show the low carbon and interactive installation? So you can see from the right one, the volunteer is showing clothes, second-hand clothes with the cloth hanger to the visitors, and to explain the hidden cost of this fast fashion industry. So it might seem very nothing happened, right? So when we pass the cloth hanger and the cloth to the visitor, they can directly feel the weight of this cloth hanger. It's very heavy for them. It's you want to create, want them to feel themselves how heavy is the cloth to represent the hidden cost behind the fast fashion industry. And actually the weight itself being experienced by the visitor is only 1% of the total weight, because we count in the water consumption from the production to the end. And the cotton production, when we plant the cotton, is consume a lot of the water. And the next one is the installation of this globe. But I think I should reshare again because I forgot to include the sound. Please wait. I'll try to share. Okay, let me take the button.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so the ball will follow the gravity to go around the globes, and the ball will trigger sound and light. Why we want to do that? Because we want to mimic the domino effects, to show the visitor that any small action will carry big impact. be it a positive impact or negative impact. So we must be mindful of our small action. So this is a message we want to bring out to the visitors. And behind the globe, you can see the digital clock, which is the climate clock that Master keeps mentioning 2 years ago to let the visitor understand there's urgency to take actions before our Earth surpass the 2 degrees Celsius. And in doing the gallery, we have 2 paths, the personal path and the collective impact path. Most of the personal action path we focus on the environmental aspect, and most of the collective path we focus on the social and economic sustainability. Also, this is the overall layout of the gallery. So when you first come in from the entrance, you can see the eye-catching glowing globes that we explain what is sustainability and what is the overall of this gallery itself. And we come to a point to decide whether we want to go to the personal path or the collective path. So let's say we follow the personal path. Then in this area, we can see we emphasize on how the small action can bring big consequences. And then we move in from the outdoor setting to the indoor setting. So we talk about the invisible cost, the importance of 5R in our daily life, and then the cost of eating meat in the setting of the kitchen, and then the cost of our houseware in the setting of the living room, and then the cost of fast fashion in the setting of bedroom, and the cost of plastic waste in the cost of the bathroom. And then last, before they went out, they will have the chances to self-assess their carbon footprints. Then they will come out to the outdoor setting. And for the outdoor setting, let's say we follow the outdoor setting. We will first share to them the humble beginning of the Su Ching Foundation, the spirit of Bamboo Bank, and then to showcase how our monastery live a sustainable lifestyle, and then also our 4 mission showcase our global Su Ching efforts, and then also the Master Chanyan stories. Last one, last but not least, this is a public housing corridor setting in Singapore to show the local efforts of Su Ching in the neighborhoods. And also last one is the pagoda settings in the garden. We showcase our international relief efforts and our dye technologies there. So this is the setting that I talk about, the bathroom, the public housing corridor, and the living room and the kitchen. So for the kitchen one, because we want to emphasize the benefit of vegetarianism or plant-based diets, so there will be a role playing between the volunteers and the visitors. So our volunteer will act as a chef to ask what kind of food they want to prepare for them. They can choose. So they can select different display items and put on the weighing machine. So when they put on the weighing machine, the number shown in the weighing machine is the carbon dioxide footprints instead of the real kg, the real weight itself. So we want to show the hidden cost of every meal that we select, that we choose in our daily life. So to let the visitor have the direct understanding of the hidden cost behind every meal that we choose. So our curation team, they are very mindful. They convert the content that we want to convey to the display item that we can see. So for the personal path, it's in the personal space, which is the indoor setting. So you can see it's the house setting like IKEA setting itself. And for the collective impacts path is the outdoor setting because it's a public space. So that's why we can see the public housing corridor setting and also the pagoda garden setting in the outdoor. Okay, and also we involve our volunteers in the process, and also our partner. For example, they are mentioned just now, the second-hand cloth social enterprise, and also the environmental consultant companies. And the third one is the similar is the social enterprise that repurpose the plastic waste and the wooden waste into the furniture. So we bought the furniture and put it in our reception area. And very important is our co-creator, the curation team that we work together. And they are a very youthful and very creative team, award-winning teams in Singapore. They won the best exhibitions awards 2 years ago. And then now they work with us, and then they try the best. The journey is around 1 year. So they try their best to understand about the Tzu Chi philosophy, to communicate with us, to adjust to our requirements. So we are very glad to work with them. The average age of them is less than 35 years old. So it's not an easy journey because we did a lot of the copywritings for the Chinese and the English also. For the Chinese, the main purpose is to serve the internal customer with our partner and our volunteers. So a lot of Tzu Chi term is used. But for the English copywriting, we serve the public. So we tone down all the Tzu Chi elements. So basically, it is not translation, it is creation. We rewrite everything so we can serve the two purposes at the same time. The fifth strategy is to collect data. There are two parts that we collect data. The first part I mentioned is the self-assessment of the visitor to self-assess their carbon footprints. And the tablet itself is also a second-hand tablet that we collect from someone donate to us. And then the right one is very mechanical, very old-fashioned, but very interesting. You can pick a ball and to vote yourself. So the question we ask the visitor is to ask them to reflect, because according to Singapore government, there are five main challenges faced by the local societies if we continue with our original lifestyle. So what is the challenges? The first one is the submerged neighborhood for the lowland. So the seawater will rise and then submerge the neighborhood. And then the second one is the climate, extreme climates, where experience a lot of heavy rain and dry season, very obvious. And then the third one is the shortage of food, because Singapore is the urban cities without the agricultural land. So Singapore will face the food security problem. And then the fourth one is the spread of diseases, especially dengue. And then the fifth one is the loss of biodiversity. So it will let the visitor to think, to ponder, and to vote for themselves. Okay, now we come to the firefly metaphor. From the graphic itself, you see 3 fireflies. They are flying toward the same direction. And the one leading is the one growing. So you can see the one growing is the leader. So it's also in line with the master teaching seen 2 years ago. Why firefly? Why master want to symbolize a firefly as our volunteer as a firefly? Because our volunteer actually ourselves, we need to inspire ourselves first. We need to shine ourselves first before we inspire the love of the others. So we need to inspire our own love so we can inspire the others. Second, the one who inspire our love will attract the other firefly. The other will shine up themselves and come together to form a bigger and brighter spot in the night. And why we want to light up the night? Because we want to guide the lost people, the one who lost their direction in the dark. So it's so important because in recent years, we face a lot of the kind of war, the Ukraine war, the Gaza war, and then a lot of the natural disaster, the refugee crisis. Sometimes, a lot of time, it bring disappointments. It discourage us when we see this kind of chaotic environment happening around us. But the Firefly metaphor tell us the stories. The darker the night, the brighter the light. So we need to be the hopes for the other. So we need to shine ourselves first. We be the hope first, so we can inspire the other, so the other can be the hope for the others. So by doing this, we can spread the positivity to the community, to the society. And then also, scientifically, Firefly is the ecological indicator, because Firefly is really sensitive to clean water and clean food source, and also the light pollution. So it's a really good ecological indicator. One, you find Firefly in certain ecosystem, which means it's a healthy ecosystem. And last one, Firefly itself in Singapore context is the national symbol. Why I say so? Because there is a new Firefly species discovered in Singapore 4 years ago. The name is called Luciola singapora. The species name is named after the Malay name of Singapore. So it shows how important this firefly to the local community. And this firefly is very tiny. It's less than 5 mm long in the Nee-Soon swamp forest, which is the only remaining freshwater swamp forest in Singapore. The firefly is like every one of us. We are so tiny, but we are so important. When we gather our light, we can bright up the night. And when we bring up the idea of this firefly, there are some comments we heard. One of them is like, the firefly has a short life cycles, so it is suitable to use this as a metaphor. But back to the biological knowledge, the nature is fair to every living creature. For those who have short life cycle, they can adapt to the very fast changing environment happening around the species, because there's a higher chance for this species to have mutation, to have the gene mutation. They can evolve to adapt to the changing environment. So for those who have short life cycle, they can easier to form a new species. So where is this Nee-Soon swamp forest? It's just next to the Su Ching Humanistic Youth Center, just 5 kilometers away from there. So you want to bring the message to the visitor that the big topic we're talking about is not far away from you. It's something next to you, something near to you. So if we didn't protect our environmental well, if we didn't do our social education well, we will destroy the future of this newly founded species. Your next generation may not have the chance to see the firefly. Yeah, and it's even further away from our Jingsi Hall. So this is the Nee-Soon swamp forest. And then the founder, the scientific group that discovered this species, Mr. Lim, he comment on this discovery. He said the discovery itself is very significant to the science in Singapore, and it's shown the importance of conserving the last freshwater swamp forest in Singapore. Singapore itself is very, very small already, when you see from the map. And then the last freshwater swamp forest, even smaller. So it's very vulnerable. So once we create a lot of the water pollution, we create a lot of light pollution, and even the sound pollution, it may trigger the survival of this Luciola singapora. And interestingly, I found for this species itself, we can find the same genus across the Asia, which means the cousin of this species around Asia and the Oceania, from the Sri Lanka to the Pacific Islands and to the Japan. So it's like, I mean, it's similar to the Su Ching metaphor. We have a lot of branch office around the world. And also we are different groups of this Firefly, but we share the same philosophy, we share the same genius, we share the same family, the name of the Chi. So it's so interesting to compare these two together. Yeah, so we apply the image of this Firefly into our design. So we can see we have this lenticular wall. We see from this direction, we can see a very beautiful Firefly, nice sceneries from this direction. But when we see from the other direction, it will see another message they want to bring out to the visitor. It's same fire, same light, but it's a destructive power. Can bring destructive power to the nature and the society. So we want to convey to the visitor that it's just in the blink of eyes, it's just in the change of mindset, we can bring out different consequences to the nature and to the human society. So this is a reminder for all of us that every small action have the meaning itself. So yeah, I think I come to the end of the sharing. So maybe you have any question you can ask me. Yeah, thank you.
Brother Bernard, thank you for insightful sharing on sustainability living and obviously on the metaphor on the Firefly. You know, one of the points you brought up about in the Jingxi Report, talking about the economy part of it, the social and eco, reminds me of a story I heard during the time of the Buddha, when we say that nothing goes to waste at the Buddha born. So there was this time where the Buddha saw one of the disciples and he was wearing a new robe. So the Buddha asked, why do you change your robe? Oh, because my old robe was tattered and I changed a new robe. Then the Buddha asked, what happened to the old robe? Oh, I use it as a curtain. And the Buddha nodded. Then the Buddha asked, what happened to the old curtain? Then he said, I cut into half and used it to wipe the floor. Oh. Then Buddha asked, but what happened to the old cloth that you used to wipe the floor? Oh, that one was like tattered, so I cut into smaller pieces to wipe the windows. And Buddha nodded. But what happened to the small piece of cloth? Then the disciple said, I used that to make wicks for the candle. So then the Buddha nodded in acknowledgement. So nothing goes to waste. So Ganan so much, Brother Bernard. So we come to the end of this Saturday morning sharing by Sister Alicia, Brother Shontan, and Brother Bernard. So can I hand the session back to Sister Su Ching?
感恩Brother Chi for the wonderful facilitating and the sorry, let me see because we are going for this batching promo. And to our wonderful, superb sharer today, the group of sharers from Morning Sister Alicia. We are very grateful to her for seizing the moment to share with her mini trip, and of course, Brother Sean for always giving us very good insights. And today, even though Brother Sean thought of this topic a bit last minute, but everything from Brother Sean is always very inspiring and insightful, very, common and something very auspicious at the boat. For those who aspire to be pure practitioner, you can listen to the recording again. Anything can reach out to us. We can pass the information to our boat site. Can get the information from there. From them. And of course, Brother Bernard, this Glow Gallery, I'm talking to my neighbor, sister, because we're going for this actually promo. I said, wow, Brother Bernard, very grateful to you. I really have to reserve your name, your contact, and hope can benefit more people. This is really the thing to how to get the attention of these people. We can see the great mindfulness and incorporating this high tech, whatever we have around. Wow, your brothers and the team can really transform masters teaching into the, I think, the current generations. I think this is what we are facing, how to attract people to come to Tzu. People get tired of things bored easily, and this is the very great tips. I think very great grand lesson from our Singapore team. Brother Bernard, I think today's session is not long enough, not enough. We trust we will try to arrange another. This is all of us that are on board today. We are so fortunate because we are so inspired. Do bring this idea and share with more people. Because even though we have a short, I think the Firefly very short lifespan, but for us, reach out and pass on the glow from the main leader from our the biggest Firefly, and from us, we can inspire ourselves and pass on the glow to inspire others. Okay, I pass back to Brother Chin.
Hey, thank you so much for everybody. So as we end today's session, we offer our 3 vows. Out. Second vow. The third vow. Okay, thank you so much, brothers and sisters. So you have a good weekend, and we will see you back again next week.